Welcome to Gabby Belle's first AMA. Maybe my last, if you guys ask me dumb shit. I'm just kidding. This might be the first time you're seeing my hands free. Now I can do this. Let me introduce you to the set. I have a 15-pound kettlebell holding up the microphone. So we don't have the technology to hold up the microphone by itself just yet without my hands. So that's what we're doing. I also have lemon ginger tea. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm a little scared of Reddit. I'm gonna be honest. Reddit does scare me sometimes. I feel like you go on there and you're asking how to do a thing, and the top comment is like, first of all, fuck you. And then there's another comment that's like, why do you even want to do that? Stop. And then no one answers your question. The third thing that happens on Reddit is that your post gets removed for no discernible reason. I feel like I've had more posts get removed than I've had stay up. And yes, I do read the rules. And then there are secret rules that I am not aware of and I'm expected to know somehow. So that's cool. But anyway, we're talking about the positives of Reddit today. And that means me doing an AMA. What better way to dip my toes into my fear of Reddit? I'm dipping my toes into my fear of Reddit, yes, by making you ask me questions, and then you're gonna listen to me talk because for some reason you want me to do that. I've already answered a handful of questions on Reddit, so today I'm gonna go over those and also answer unanswered questions on the Reddit. It's me, your friendly neighborhood Gabby Belle. AMA. This is where people have asked me anything regarding YouTube, music, something you've always wondered, I don't know. Also, don't ask me if I'm Brazilian. That's not the place to do that. The place to do that is in your... Alright, first one. Let's start off easy. Start off a little easy here before it gets too crazy. Favorite Fortnite skin? This is a complex question with an equally as complex answer. Sabrina Carpenter, next question. All right, the next one's kind of interesting. I was also expecting like 2 people to ask me questions, and then a lot of you did, so thank you. Mick Weezer asks me, what's been your I've made it moment? Which is funny because at times, most times, I don't feel like I've made it, which I know to some of you is gonna be like, okay, well, yeah, sure. And then some of you are gonna be like, you're fucking dumb as hell. What do you mean by that? I forget that people know who I am constantly. I do not expect it. And then someone comes up to me and I look like a deer in headlights because I'm like, oh, yes, yes, I am yes, I do YouTube. So that's kind of my reaction every time. And everyone I've met in real life has been awesome. Everyone I've met in real life has been really, really cool. You guys are awesome. Also, I'm trying to come up with, a new name for the community. And I'd like to say that since I've met you guys in real life, I want to say like the Gabby Belle, the Belle ends, you Belle ends in real life. You are great. You guys have been very pleasant. So let me know what you guys think about Belle ends. Let me know if that should stick. We can brainstorm some better ones, but I'm really liking Belle ends. Let me know what you think. But I did give an answer to this person on Reddit when, like that I made it moment, I guess. It was when I was able to quit my job that I was chasing around invoices for because they were barely paying me. Guys. The worst part about being self-employed and especially as a creative, if you're a graphic designer, videographer, photographer, literally whatever you do and you're freelancing, the fucking worst part about that job is chasing around invoices. But anyway, yeah, at that job, the people who worked at this company were so nice. I really, really liked working with them. It was just really unfortunate that it happened to be a job and they weren't paying me. There was a point where they didn't pay me for 4 months. And I could not afford rent because I hadn't gotten paid in 4 months. So luckily, I was so lucky that my YouTube channel had coincided with that. There was a really, really good gap of time where I didn't have money. But I mean coincide as in the 4th month of me not getting paid and I don't have any money to pay for anything, for groceries or rent. My YouTube channel had just hit 50,000 subscribers, and I was finally getting like, I don't know what it was, like $1,000 a month or something. I was also making videos weekly, so that's why that number is what it is. I was making like 15 to 20 minute videos weekly. I don't know how the fuck I was doing that and working on top of it. But anyway, that was one of the I made it moments when I was able to just be like, you know what? I quit because I have another source of income online. And then the other part of that I made it moment was when I got recognized in public for the first time. I think it was actually around the same time at 50,000 subscribers. And I was at the Curtis Connor show in like 2022. So that was really cool because that makes so much sense, you know, a lot of overlap in the audience. So that was really cool to get recognized outside of there after the show. Any future songs or music videos in the works? The last one turned out great. Thank you. And yes, January, I've been taking this month off of YouTube so that I can work on an album. Don't tell anyone, okay? So yes, I'm taking a month off, but no, I am not resting in a good way, I guess. Yeah, I won't spoil too much about that. I'm really, really, really excited. Favorite Beatles album? This is a hot topic. It might be controversial. I know a lot of people say that theirs is Abbey Road or Revolver, but I'm gonna go out and say that it is Rubber Soul. Just ignore the last song on that album. It does not exist. It does not exist. And then the other part of my reply here you'd see on Reddit is me being sarcastic. Well, maybe not sarcastic. I say Rubber Soul, alongside my favorite Beach Boys album, the 1985 self-titled The Beach Boys, which I have a vinyl of, and it was up in the background of my videos for a while. So I've had people wonder why. And the answer is that I just happened to inherit it. And then I listened to it and I really like it. It's a really good album. I really like the self-titled Beach Boys album. Okay, but picking a favorite Beatles album is kind of like, okay, you have like a ranking of like favorite to least favorite, but your least favorite is still peak. So it's not even like, oh, this is at the bottom of my list and it's bad. No, it's at the bottom of the list and it's also the best thing I've ever fucking heard. So what's one boundary, either on the internet or elsewhere in life, you've had to learn the hard way? In other words, one you didn't realize you needed until it was crossed. So this one was tough to think about. What I wrote here was that I'd say since gaining attention on the internet, I learned that it's okay to say no to things. Even if, this is the thing, this is the big part of it's okay to say. It's easy for you to be like, it's okay to say no to things. Okay, but this is the big part of it. It's okay to say no to things, even if it will disappoint someone. That's the thing. Because when you start getting popular on the internet, you'll have a lot of people asking you if you want to collab or asking to do things or fly out somewhere to do a thing, and that's all really fun and exciting, and you should totally say yes to some of those things. But if something's just not vibing with you, I'm sorry I said vibing with. I feel like I'm 50 years old saying that. But if something's not like aligning with you and you're like, oh, I feel like I should say yes because I need to say yes to these opportunities in order to grow and blah, blah, blah. But if you're just not like into it, don't do it. You don't need to. Actually, you don't. It's easy to get caught up in feeling like you have to do everything because you've gotten so lucky at, okay, I finally have this audience. I can't blow it. I can't blow it. But as long as you have a plan, I have a plan, Arthur. And you're chilling and you're doing your own thing and you know what you need to do next in order to keep growing and also be happy doing it, you don't need to take every opportunity that is thrown at you. Take opportunities that make sense for the future you want to go in and not just because it's something that will get you more popular. I feel like there's a happy medium. Okay, second thing is that you don't have to be friends with everyone, even if someone is your peer. You don't have to make enemies. I'm not saying that you don't have to fucking start drama. I'm saying like even in people in your niche, you don't have to be friends with everyone. You just don't. Sometimes you just don't click. I've learned that this isn't high school anymore. You can pick your friends. That is the most incredible privilege of being an adult and not being in school, is that you can pick your friends and you don't have to hang out or talk to people you just don't like. You don't. You simply do not have to do that. And it's a wonderful and freeing realization. You don't have to force it with someone you don't click with. You can absolutely be cordial. Like, if you don't really love one of your friends' friends, you're not, you know, don't bully them. I'm just saying, like, you can be cordial with them whenever you see them, but you don't need to force more of a friendship if you're just happy being an acquaintance, you know, or keeping them at arm's length. That's fine. Especially some people who just like, I mean, this is more personal, but maybe it'll resonate with someone as like what type of person I keep at arm's length are people who gossip a lot. Trust me, I love the tea. I love the tea. Trust me, I love talking about tea. But when someone is spreading other people's business to other people that they don't know or trust, and they are doing that a lot, they are doing it to you too. They are doing it to you too. And it's also not nice or fun. Like, I have learned things about people I shouldn't know things about because I've never talked to them and I don't know them. And I don't want to know things about their personal life that they haven't told me, that are like things that are clearly private. Like people who gossip like that, I'm saying. Like not just within your 3-person group chat and the information never leaves there. I'm saying like the type of person who gossips like that. Not my cup of tea. Not a nice person to be around. And like, trust me, I love knowing tea about someone that I barely know or don't know every once in a while. I'm here for that. I'm saying like watch out if they're doing it a lot and not just like talking about people who are directly affecting their lives. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm throwing 100 caveats on like what this means. I'm not saying like, oh, this person is being so mean to me and I hate how they do this and they're telling you that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, did you know that this person actually hates this person? Or did you know that they said this about this? And I'm like, I don't care. Don't care. Is Chad as nice IRL as she is in her videos? I'm gonna go ahead and say she's terrifying. I'm scared of her. I'm scared to say anything right now in fear that she'll hear about it and do something about it. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, I'm kidding. She's the best. Were there any YouTube channels you looked up to or for inspiration when you were starting or making content? I absolutely love your videos. Thank you. I'd say within the commentary niche, definitely Drew Gooden. The way he writes his videos is so masterful. I am in awe every time I watch a video. I'm like, how did you write that? How did you write that so good? And just like Moist Critical, just because I'd been watching him for so long that of course he has to be a subconscious influence. I've been watching his videos since like 2012. I especially looked to other big commentary creators when I was starting out so that I could absorb and learn the structure and like how videos are supposed to flow, and I'm paying attention to things like pacing and what I like about it, where my attention drops, where it keeps my attention, how to write something that's interesting and worthwhile to listen to, hopefully, and funny, obviously. Any chance of an album or EP in the future? Yes. Does Hotel Hell need more or less Gordon Ramsay ass? I said, you know the answer to this already. Do you think your videos, or maybe generally the genre, are controversial? How do you handle criticism? Constructive, bad, straight up hate, if any? I enjoy your videos a lot and especially appreciate your sense of humor. Thank you. Okay, this one was a few questions in one. I think I've made a conscious decision not to make controversial videos. Not because I'm like super scared or I don't know what. I just don't enjoy it. I enjoy the community of people who are attracted to the type of videos I make, which are fun, informative, or lighthearted videos. I gravitate towards that content myself, so I like the community of people that we've built within that genre of more like chill, lighthearted videos. You know, even when I'm covering more serious topics, lighthearted in that general sense, if that makes sense. As for how I take criticism, I start this off in here saying, you know, no one loves being criticized, obviously, but I've definitely taken constructive criticism over the years, like things like too many jump cuts, writing better or stronger ideas, deeply thinking about things more. Even if a comment disagrees with me, if they just display an idea in a way I hadn't thought about, chances are I've seen it and I go, huh, that's interesting. And then I move on. On the flip side, this might be controversial to say, and I'm not saying this as like a boo-hoo, feel bad for me, I'm the victim. It is something I've noticed, and I feel very strongly that I'm right about this because I know how my peers are treated. I know how other creators are treated. I've seen their comments, And I do feel like sometimes I have gotten flack for videos that a male commentary creator has made, whether it be the exact same idea, the exact same format, you know, whatever it may be, and they get zero criticism. Zero. Not a peep. Not a peep. And I'm not saying that to deflect that I shouldn't take any responsibility for anything. I haven't done anything serious. I'm saying that as if I'd assaulted someone. I mean, like, you know, I can't help but draw the conclusion that the only difference is that I'm a woman. And they're not. They're the golden boys. And being a woman online has subconsciously made it a little harder to share my opinions, at least in the way that I normally would, because of that difference. It feels like people are ready to be more angry when it's a woman speaking about something. And people are way more interested in pointing out things that are wrong, or things they think are wrong, or purposefully misunderstand a point when it's coming from a woman. You know, not to be a woke asshole. Okay, and as for straight up hate, it doesn't bother me too much at all, especially when you think about the type of person that comments hate under videos. Like, think about the type of person that goes out of their way to scroll down to the comments, write something stupid and also hateful or misogynistic or just mean, and then they hit send. They hit, yep, that's good, and publish. Do you think that person has friends in real life? You know, you end up feeling a lot better about it when you think about the type of person that actually goes out of their way to do that. And it's also, like, funny when you see a hate comment, like a straight up hate, I'm not saying criticism, and you're like, they would never say this to a real person. Like, they would never say that to someone in real life. Gabby, how do you handle your schedule and make yourself do things that take so much planning? Do you wing it or have a script? Are there parts of it that are more enjoyable than others? Also, huge fan. The shirt you had for merch is beautiful, and I wore it every day autism style for several months. Hell yeah, dude. That shirt is comfy as hell. Thank you. Also, lists. I make so many lists. Also, my calendar looks insane with everything I put on it. I use Apple Calendar because then I can add it on my computer and it shows up on my phone. But hey, I'm with you. I never, ever, ever used digital calendars because they just get fucking lost. You put it on your Google Calendar and it's gone. And guess who's never gonna remember to check it? Me. So what I did to actually make it work, because I did need a digital calendar because sometimes I'm out and about and I need to remember something and I don't have my giant ass physical calendar with me. So what I did was I put the calendar widget on my lock screen so that it would show up every time I look at my phone. And then it also shows what you're doing today and also if you have anything for the next day or the next few days, you know, whenever you have stuff going on. That game changer, that actually worked. That actually worked for me. And for video ideas, I have a lot of topics in my notes at once. So I'll pre-make, like, I use Notion, hashtag not an ad. I don't love that they're like trying to push AI in their thing, but it's a really decently good note-taking app. And I just have a bunch of pages for a video idea. And I'll jot down notes because a lot of times I'll be going about my life and I'll come across a thing and I'm like, oh, I gotta write that down. And then I'll go write it down real quick. It does take a lot of planning. You do have to sit down, look at the calendar and be like, okay, what video am I gonna do this? Do I have enough time to do a topic like that? Because, you know, you block out like a week or two for editing, as much time as you can offer for editing. And then you block off a week or two for scripting. So I've kind of gotten in the flow where I know that I need a certain amount of time to script and I know that I need the footage to be shot by this day in order for the editor. God bless, I have editors now. God bless my editors. Amen. I used to edit everything myself, which was great. It was great practice. But when you're doing the scripting, editing, filming, ads, etc. all at once, it's a lot, especially now that I'm trying to juggle music stuff. I have a lot of creative projects going on at once, and having editors is wonderful. They're awesome and they're so talented. But yes, even if I was editing it myself, this is how it would happen. You know, you need it to be shot by this day in order to have enough time to edit it for a certain due date. Having the due date helps you work backwards, so that way you don't just never do it. And also, This is just for me because I have sponsors. They keep my ass in line, okay? I know people don't love ads. First of all, it pays the bills. Secondly, just fucking skip them. I don't know. Fucking turn off the TV. What do you want me to do? That was so mean. But fourthly, I don't know. They keep my ass in line for due dates. Okay, so you can all thank them that I actually get the videos done on time because of them. The rest of my answer is on Reddit. I'd say my favorite part about video making now, it's changed over the years. It used to be editing because it's fun to make yourself giggle at the computer at 1 a.m. But I really like putting together storylines, especially for videos that require it. Obviously, when I'm reviewing a movie, there's not much of like me writing a storyline, but like anytime that requires it, any voiceover, that type of stuff, I really like having a video flow together when applicable. Favorite James Marriott song? Grapes. And then from his new album Plasticine and Food Poisoning, those are my favorites from that album. And then his new song California Rain. I love all of those songs equally as much. They're great. The rain won't stop me now. Do you like Plants vs. Zombies? / do you draw? The two genders. I love Plants vs. Zombies. I've completed it several times throughout my lifetime. Do you draw? I doodle. Draw is a strong word. I doodle. I think I'm better at painting, ironically. It's not ironic. Why would that be ironic? I'm not a very good painter, but I am better at painting than I am at drawing. What topic haven't you done that you really want to do? A lot of fun topics I'm planning for 2026 are exactly topics that I didn't have time to do last year because I had a crazy goddamn year last year that I won't get into. So that's why I feel like the latter half of 2025 was me doing topics that were easier on my mental load because I couldn't handle any more than that. So thank you for the people who watched the fun little, maybe low stakes, low commitment type of just reactions to things. Those were fun. Also helped me stay sane. So 2026, a lot of topics that I wasn't able to do in 2025. So like this next one, I will be researching a little more into AI music. My mom sent me an AI song this morning. God bless. It was really unfortunate having to explain to her that was an AI song and she was upset. It was sad. And it's permeating throughout our lives, and I think now real artists are directly competing with AI artists. It fucking sucks. Having these like AI music artists just push out real artists from the algorithm. It's so fucking dumb. And the companies aren't gonna do anything about it because it's making them money. What are we supposed to do about that? Anyway, that's just one example. Any plans on merch this year? No pressure if it's not profitable, of course. The desk mats were super dope. Also a big fan of stickers myself. Love your videos, Miss Balls. Thank you. Yeah, not much clothing items, I'd say. I think it was really fun to do that drop. I'm glad I got the experience of doing a clothing merch drop. I think I would love to do vinyls, stickers, smaller things I would love to do. I think the clothing drop was difficult because you had to balance. Well, first of all, I really wanted it to be US and ethically made / ethically sourced. And having that and affordability in the same sentence is impossible. It was just expensive. And like, obviously it sucks that it like priced out a lot of my audience. But I also really cared a lot about it being ethically made. So I was kind of stuck between like, oh, you have to do one or the other. Like the profit margin for me wasn't that much. That wasn't why I wanted to make merch. Like obviously you make money doing merch. I just mean like the fun part of it for me was actually making a thing with real artists and making a physical product that you're proud of. And that was like really cool to hold and be like, holy shit, we made this. That's so cool. And people actually want it and wear it. But yeah, that being said, I was proud of the crop tee / tees, since those we were able to keep it at a standard price that like you would see for merch for other YouTubers or other musicians. That was around like the $50 mark. I feel like when you, like if you go to sabrinacarpenter.com, if you go to leve.com, all of their shirts and stuff are like $55. And a lot of artist merch isn't like US made or ethically made, which I'm not saying that to be like the moral police. Like I'm saying that as in like I was proud that I was able to have it be ethically made and keep it at that price point, which I know it still isn't cheap. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it wasn't like absurdly out of the norm. Anyway, I finished this off by saying it's hard to find a happy medium between price and ethical sourcing, but I also loved the desk mats too, and I'd love to do those again. I think those are really fun. I've had them for a really long time. They're great. Have you ever thought about or considered ever going on tour? My answer on Reddit was that I would love to open up for people first before going out there myself. I just think it sounds fun. It would help me get back into performing, ease back into it, hang out with some friends, and not having all the pressure of being the main act. All right. If you could time travel to any point in history just to watch, not to participate or change anything, where would you go? I didn't have a good answer for this. Or at least I couldn't think of a better answer for this. I said that this could have unlimited answers, but I'd be pretty interested in observing the Jesus era. Not even in like a religious way. So I could be like the only person who actually knows what he looked like in modern day. But there are so many other moments in history you could go to get clearer answers to things, like how the pyramids were built, or how the Moai were moved on Easter Island, etc. You know, we have our theories, but it'd be cool to go actually see it, I guess. But I mean, Ancient Aliens was probably right. That they would, fuse the DNA of humans to make them minotaurs, and also have a light beam coming out of the pyramid, and then it like built itself or something. And also that Noah's Ark wasn't actually full of animals, it was actually full of DNA capsules. What musicians inspire you or have made you realize something about music? All right, I'll try to speed run this one. So as a kid, I really looked up to like Lady Gaga, Mika, because I looked up to how they expressed themselves freely through fashion, music, and what was considered out there at the time. And that started my love for pop artists like Lily Allen, Taylor Swift, who I know was country at the time. Jesse McCartney's 2004 album is super underrated, even though I know Beautiful Soul is on it. Britney Spears, Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, Demi Lovato, Jonas Brothers, Katy Perry, the Beatles, and bossa nova classics, because my mom played them all the time. My love for bossa nova has been true my whole life. At the same time, in my childhood, there was a whole other or same side of me, perhaps, that also loved Blink-182, Third Eye Blind, which their self-titled album is my favorite of all time. Sum 41, Simple Plan, Avril Lavigne, Bowling for Soup, Weezer, hell yeah. Which led me in high school to go through you'll never guess this, a ska and reggae phase in high school. Yeah, I was also a big fan of Kendrick Lamar, Atmosphere, Ariana Grande, my queen. I also discovered and loved Brazilian sertanejo, which is like Brazilian country music. It's like the Brazilian equivalent of country music, if you don't know what that is. Which you probably don't unless you're Brazilian. It's pretty cool. They use a lot of accordion. It's so fun. Like Luan Santana, Michel Teló, along with Brazilian pagode, which is like, how do I describe it? I might butcher this explanation. It's like samba-y, right? It's like samba-y. And there's a cavaquinho. There's a lot of cavaquinho, which is like this small guitar type of thing. There's a lot of cuica that's like, if you've heard that in songs, that's a cuica. It feels very beachy. Pagode is beachy in my mind. And I also took a much deeper dive into bossa nova. Then here we are in college. I rediscovered classic dad rock, like Chicago, Hall & Oates, ELO, which I wrote here, Holy Peak. I love ELO so much. I was also into other like non-dad rock, like Cher, specifically the 1989 Heart of Stone album. Oh my god, it's so good. Also, I got more into Queen. Of course, I always loved Queen, but like you get more into Queen, which I guess Queen toes the line between dad rock and non-dad rock. I feel like Queen you can hear at, a dad barbecue, they'll be so happy. And then Queen, you also hear amongst the girls and the gays. So they're like, Queen is for everyone. Of course, this rediscovering was happening alongside college party frat music because I was in college. So Fetty Wap kind of ran this era. And also that fucking horrible song, The Club Going Up on a Tuesday. And then also, oh my god, does anyone remember, I feel like it's a hit or a miss, does anyone remember I've been getting dirty money, Jordan Belt fur. Fucking awful song. What else? I'm all the way up, all the way up, I'm all the way up, nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. Then I graduated college and I discovered Japanese city pop post-college after / during the whole lo-fi craze of the 2020s. We're still in the 2020s. I mean, like the early 2020s. I fell in love with city pop. It is so good. It's probably my favorite genre. Especially since it basically combines everything I love about music in general. Like pop, trumpets, wah guitar, funky bass lines. It's just so peak. Also around this time, I listened to a lot of Joji, unrelated to city pop entirely. It was just time for Joji. I don't know what to tell you. After this, we're now up to the past few years. I've taken a deep dive into Paul McCartney's solo work. Also Wings. Paul McCartney / Wings, you know, which is like, how did I not know about this? I love city pop. Paul McCartney is basically city pop for white people. It's just also everything I love about music. It turns out after the Beatles, he continues to write absolute perfection into the 70s and onward. Can we get some "fuck you" believers in the chat? I just want it for you. And he also has insane bass lines. Like Silly Love Songs is like a 3-chord song, but the bass line is going bum 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 bum. It's like, it's insane. And he has so many songs like that. That's just one example. Insane. Coming Up, listen to Coming Up. The bass line is just listen. Just listen. I also love the way he implements key changes. I love his song composition and instrumentation. And I wrote here that he's just overall pop boy perfection. God bless. In the past couple years, I also began listening to Masayoshi Takanaka, the guy with the surfboard guitar. If you don't know him by name, you might know this image of this fucking cool ass guy. He is an incredible example of Japanese fusion of Brazilian samba. So basically his music was made for me specifically, if I'm being honest. He's so cool. He influences me now greatly alongside other Japanese artists like Fujikaze, which is a pop artist, modern pop artist. He's awesome. I love his piano work. Matsuri is probably my favorite track. And today, you know, artists like Sabrina Carpenter, Chapel Roan also influence me. I love Pink Pantheress. I love Doechii, and I've been listening to who's not a pop girly. He just happens to be in the list. I've also been listening to Mahkushvali, his 1983 album. So good. So good. I found it at the record store the other day and I freaking bought it. Such a good album. Incredible album. He's the guy who wrote one of the bossa nova classics, Samba de Verão, the one that goes bum 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 bum. That one. Hear that one. He takes that song in his 1983 album. He's no longer writing bossa nova classics. He's now funked up. He's getting funked up. It is such a funky album. It is incredible. He takes that song and funkifies it. It's amazing. Oh, also in the last few years, obviously, I love Silk Sonic. There's not much of an explanation for that. I feel like it's obvious. I love Silk Sonic. Do you play all the instruments on your songs? Mostly, yes. The things that I've been working on lately have been just me and Josh Dare have been playing all the instruments on everything that we're working on, except for we had our friend MXM Tune play a cello part for a song, and it sounds awesome, and I'm so excited. So she's great. We've also had, I had someone come in and play the trumpet for Perfect Fantasy, and also I wrote the bass line, but I had someone come in and actually play it because I was playing it on MIDI. I wrote it on MIDI, and I had someone come and play that bass line as well for Perfect Fantasy. And we're currently having someone come and play the strings. She's gonna play the violin for a lot of the songs I'm working on. So mostly yes, except for outlier instruments, if that makes sense. Although I will be playing the flute on this album as well, so that's gonna be fun. I used to play the flute in school, and I was pretty fucking good at it. So, what was your favorite thing about the UK, except Abbey Road, obviously? Nando's. Let's answer a few unanswered questions on here before I run out of time, aka before my camera dies. What are your thoughts on former President Gerald Ford? What was your journey on becoming an artist and YouTuber like? What were your hardships? What's your favorite and your least favorite part? I feel like I kind of overlapped some of these answers in a different one, but I will still go over it. Becoming an artist, I guess the short of it, well, I've been attempting to be an artist since I was a child. Since I could breathe, I was singing. And I'll just say I just made absolute dog shit until now. Until right now, I've just made absolute dog shit. I was so bad at producing. I feel like I've only become even remotely confident in my producing abilities now. I cannot overstate or understate. What's the word? I cannot overstate how fucking bad, how fucking shit I was at producing. And I kept going because I was like, I have to get good at this. I have to get good at this. I have to get good at this. I don't care how long it takes me. I have to get good at this. And fucking finally, I was like, I was still dog shit at it well into my adulthood. And I'm like, damn, am I ever gonna get good at this? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this shit. And finally, it clicked. Finally. So I finally feel even remotely confident about what I'm making now. So that's been my journey. YouTuber, it was cool. It was chill. I wasn't really a YouTube kid. I feel like a lot of people grew up on YouTube, and I don't know what the hell happened. I just didn't. I really got into YouTube more in like 2020. And then I discovered commentary, and I was like, I love listening to these funny white boys yap. This is awesome. And I was like, maybe I could do that. I don't see a lot of women doing it, especially in the comedic sphere at the time. And I was like, I could do that. I think I could do that. And then I did, and I tried really hard, and I got better and better. I was not very good at formulating my ideas and putting them in cohesive ways. It's a skill. You don't just sit down and yap. It's a skill to write something cohesive that makes sense, that doesn't piss everyone off, and making sure that you're being aware and learning enough that you're considering all perspectives. And it's not even just about like, oh, you're just fence sitting or, you know, just choosing the right opinion to have. No, it's like, okay, I learned that I was like, oh, let me consider all sides. Let me consider what someone would say about this. And what that does when you consider everything is then you form your opinion more confidently too. Then you're like, oh, I know what this type of person might say. And you know what? I'm considering it, and I still agree with my own point. You're like constantly, I have this idea, and you're constantly arguing with yourself and seeing if your opinion changes. Because sometimes it does. Sometimes you're like, yeah, you know what? Maybe my argument doesn't necessarily hold up. Let me pivot a little bit and let me learn. So that's really cool. Even like as you're making it, I'm not saying like you post something and everyone's like, hey, fuck you, you suck. It's literally as you're writing something, you're formulating your opinion and arguing against yourself and making sure that it's solid. That's YouTuber, man. Favorite part? Being my own boss, being able to travel, having whatever freedom to work whenever I want, which is fucking awesome. Meeting people, some of my favorite people I've ever met in my life has been through online. Other creators have become my best friends. They're awesome. Especially because I was like, oh fuck, I finally am meeting people who are like me, who are creative in a similar way as me, and who think about things similarly to me, who are just as kind of like odd as me, and we're all in this little crazy online bubble together, which is cool. Least favorite part? Sometimes people say stupid shit, you know? I love my community, and sometimes people say stupid shit, and I think it's okay to say that. I'm sure all of you have your own versions of that at work or what have you. You're like, ah, man, like, you're a nice person. You just said something stupid. You know, I tried brigadeiros because 2 Brazilian girls were selling them at a food fair and I liked them a lot. Hey, that's so cool. They were incredibly tasty and my GF and I are going to try your recipe. Sending love. Thanks for letting us know about brigadeiros. Hey, good luck to you. They're super easy to make. You freaking got this. I wish the best on your brigadeiro journey. Are you into animated series? What are your faves? Assuming you mean anime, Mob Psycho has been a recent fave. Inuyasha is my all-time favorite anime. Let's ignore that he's a fucking 50-year-old demon and she's 15. Just don't pay attention to that. It's a good show, I promise. Death Note, unironically, one of my favorites. First season of One Punch Man was good. Yu Yu Hakusho, also a top favorite anime. I love Yu Yu Hakusho so much. Are you excited for GTA 6? Hell yeah. No further comments. Do you have a tier list for sponsorships you've worked with? I don't know. Am I allowed? Am I allowed to pick favorites? If I am, Bombas. Hell yeah, dude. This isn't an ad, by the way. I swear to God, this is not an ad. They're not paying me to say this in this video. This video is free. They've just been really easy to work with, and I value that a lot. They're super easy to work with. They're nice to me. They actually do the thing that they say that they do, which is donate to homeless shelters. Yes, their socks are pricey. They are really good quality. I like them. Oh, this is something I've always wanted to ask. What is the chord progression for Did I Just Write the Next Emo Anthem? I think I got most of it, but I'd love to see how close I got and maybe the sections I didn't. Probably not an interesting question, sorry, but I couldn't think of anything else. No, that is absolutely a valid and interesting question. Yes, I do have it. Okay, ready? It goes G. Actually, let me grab a guitar. I'm so bored and my life sucks. Think I need to pick me up. Lace up my shoes, I'm going out. Wish I could pause the time now. Whoa, I'm sitting here by the phone again, waiting for a call from you again. I'm all alone again. I'm not the problem, you are. I hate this town, so I'll drive my car and run away with you. Run away with you. Pay the bills with my own guitar, and you'll all see how I made it this far. And no one understands, 'cause life is in my hands. Whoa. And then the whatever it goes, D, B minor, and then it goes B, C, B, C, B, and then it goes out the door, but I'm on the floor, staring up at the ceiling. This empty bottle in your glass lips shatter my heart into pieces. Whoa, yes, I feel like a plastic bag floating through the parking lot again, around Lake Michigan. I'm not the problem, you are. I hate this town, so I'll drive my car and run away with you. Run away with you. I'll pay the bills with my own guitar. You'll all see how I made it this far, and no one understands, 'cause life is in my hands. Whoa, whoa, and then it goes, I wanna go home, and then I said I wanna go home, and then it goes to D, and then there's a guitar solo, and then I'm not the problem, you are. I hate this town, so I'll drive my car and run away with you. Take me home, please take me home. And no one understands, 'cause life is in my hands. I hate my dad. And that's, did I just write the next emo anthem? Anyway, thank you for everyone who asked me questions on this Reddit AMA. I hope this video was interesting. Maybe you listened to it like a podcast. Maybe you were like, this is the most boring piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. That's okay. Just leave a comment to help with engagement or something. Anyway, thank you, Bellend. Thank you, Bellend, for watching. Comment Bellend. Comment that you're a Bellend in the comments, and I'll like them. Thank you. Goodbye.